I mean, I do send sats to people, but it's not in the sense of like, you know, the way the fiat system is set up. If I feel inspired by someone, or someone has a project or a service out there that I like and they're offering it in only Bitcoin, I may purchase it. I may use a tipping feature on Twitter, for example. But for the most part, you are right. When I'm having these intellectual Bitcoin conversations with people, there's no sats exchanged, and there's no need, because the value is in the conversation that we're having, like you said. And this will hopefully inspire and kind of push someone down the road that doesn't know about Bitcoin or is interested about Bitcoin to really get orange pilled.
Yeah, but I think it's not limited to only conversation, but everything. I mean, if you're a restaurant owner and you serve a Bitcoiner steak and you don't charge the Bitcoiner for it, you're likely to get your worth, one steak worth of value back in one way or another at some point anyway. And also, like, if you have all ships rise with the tide, and as number goes up over time, all Bitcoiners become wealthier, and wealthier people tend to pick up the bill more often, for instance. So if 10 wealthy people go to a restaurant, and that by wealthy I mean Bitcoin wealthy and not fiat wealthy, because fiat wealthy people can be assholes. In Bitcoin, that's much harder. So one of those 10 people will pick up the bill, and if you go out to a restaurant 10 days in a row, 10 transactions happen because someone picks up the bill every day. If 10 poor people or greedy people, Bitcoin poor people, soul poor people, high time preference people go out to restaurants for 10 days in a row, they will split the bill every day, and then 100 transactions happen. So I have this theory that the wealthier you are in true capital, not fiat wealthy, but Bitcoin wealthy, the number of total transactions in society, the necessity for them goes away. And that's the weirdest part, because I don't really see an end point to that either. So what Bitcoin was, I mean, it's called a commodity and a money and a currency and a protocol and a network, but it's really just a mathematical experiment that we run in the back of our heads that enables us to interact with one another in all of these ways. And the weirdest part of that is that we had this ability within us to just be better to one another. We had it within us all the time. So all Bitcoin did was unlock something in us. So a Bitcoin private key, the cliche phrase I'm trying to popularize is that a Bitcoin private key is a literal key to your heart, so that you can wear it on your sleeve in public. Yeah, something like that. It sounds weird and it sounds a bit new agey, but I think that's where we're headed. We're headed to a much better world. And also the fact that Bitcoins are very hard to confiscate. Even if I put a gun to your head and say, give me all your Bitcoins, I can never be sure that you gave me all your Bitcoins. I can know that you gave me some Bitcoins, but as long as I don't know how many you have, which I can't, by the way, it makes no sense for me to threaten you or coerce you. It makes much more sense for me to provide something of value back in order to get something of value from you. And this is how the dynamics of violence change. There's a new Schelling point for how we interact with one another.